The mystery of Florida's certificate of destruction. Is this the end for thousands of cars, or can it be brought back to life on American roads? In the past year, over 4.5 million cars were sold at Salvage auto auction. 100,000 of them came with certificate of destruction. Half stayed in the United States while the rest of it went for export. Many of these cars are destined for parts and scrap yards, fetching low prices. This also means incredible deals on vehicles for export. But beware, European Union countries, importing vehicles with certificate of destruction is off limits. You might be surprised to learn that some of these condemned cars are still in drivable condition. I've personally inspected flood damaged cars at Salvage auto auction that started and drove without a hitch. So the burning question remains: can you legalize a certificate of destruction in the United States? What does it take? Is it even legal? And are there any consequences? Join me in today's video as we unravel the truth behind this automotive enigma. If you're ready, let's start. Certificate of destruction from Florida. Personally, my company purchased over 300 cars for the last couple of years. We purchased these cars with only one intent: to sell it overseas. It was great export opportunity. And the best part about all these cars that we purchased with certificate of destruction was its price. For example, this 2019 Volkswagen Atlas was purchased just for 18% of its retail value. 20% flood damaged car, but 18% of its retail value. Great opportunity to take this car apart for parts only. These cars are a great source of parts, but at the same time, some countries can fix these cars relatively cheap and put them back on road. But you need to understand the main purpose of certificate of destruction: parts only. When you go to auto auctions like copper.com or insurance auto auction, there is a title code certificate of destruction, but many people have no idea what it actually means. That's the reason when I designed carsfromwest.com, I wanted to help my buyers to warn them about these issues. The title, you see, it's in red. It's a warning. But when you're gonna place the bid, you have additional warning. This definitely helps lots of our buyers avoid costly mistakes. But this week I was checking Coppert's Instagram and I stumbled upon 2018 McLaren 720S that Coppert advertised. They say the coupe puts out 710 horsepower. You can add this great find to your collection on May 15th during the Miami Central Florida auction. They provided the lot number. What I've done? As AutoHacker, I went to copper.com to find this lot. The current bid is $138,000. Whoa! But the reserve on this beauty is $174,000. At first you think this is expensive, but when you compare it to the same car as I found at cars.com with 2,000 miles, same McLaren 720S performance is listed at $260,000. So buying this car at $174,000, it still saves you around $85,000. That's a lot of money to save. There is even video that Coppert shared that shows that this car starts, doesn't have any warnings. Yeah, what a beauty, right? But as AutoHacker, I always check car's history. So I went to VIN Doctor, input the VIN number of the McLaren and click check VIN. VIN Doctor revealed me right away that this car was at the auction for 7 times. I'm gonna buy this report to check its history. The cool part about VIN Doctor that besides checking VIN Doctor history, you can get AutoCheck and Carfax relatively cheap. So I'm selecting VIN Doctor, and once report generated, I want to go to sales history right away. The first sale of this car happened on 21st November of 2022 when it was sold for $93,000. That's the original listing of this car. As you see, it was sold with certificate of destruction. It's a non-drivable condition and it's a water flood damage. WL stands for water line. I'm not sure if it's a salt water or fresh water. The only thing I know, this car was not in a drivable condition. The question is, if it originally came with certificate of destruction, which meant for parts only, how was it advertised at copper.com and now it comes with certificate of title salvage? That made me wonder, something shady happening with this car. Is it possible to take certificate of destruction and register it as a salvage certificate in other states? I went to Facebook and searched multiple groups. To my surprise, there are some threads about this issue. Most people agree that Kentucky is the only place you can register a certificate of destruction vehicle. That's why this McLaren 720S comes exactly with Kentucky certificate of title. There is a problem though, and some people expose this scheme so that yes, you may be able to get a title to drive it in couple states. But if you try to transfer the title to other states like Pennsylvania, you cannot. They will not issue a title. I know that for a fact. Friend of mine got burnt on a Mustang GT. I got screwed by a dealer in New Jersey with a Mustang. I got my money back. The friend bought it at an online auction and I guess he's stuck with the car for good. What do you do after that? You can sell these cars for parts and lose money, or you can heavily discount it and sell it to some people who can register it in their specific state. Anyway, I think this scheme is dodgy. I even found somebody who's offering this service for money. $500. You send them title and in 4-6 weeks they turn certificate of destruction into salvageable title. There is a huge risk. You giving title to some people you have no idea, you're paying them money. I do not know what happens next, but that sounds very risky. I've done my research. In 2022, over 100,000 cars were sold with some kind of certificate of destruction. $500 million these sales brought. Most of them came from copper. As you see, 57,000 of these cars were purchased by buyers in the United States. The rest of the cars went for export. Emirates, Georgia, Mexico, Armenia, Honduras, Nigeria, and etc. But for high-end cars like this 2012 Porsche Panamera that you can see on these pictures, flood damaged car in Florida, brand new, originally came with certificate of destruction, later appeared at corporate and sold for profit with the title of Kentucky certificate of title salvage. Brand new 2022 Infiniti QX80 flood damage car, Florida certificate of destruction. Retail price of $75,000. This car was sold for just 20% of its retail value. Later on, it was sold for profit at $31,500 with Kentucky certificate of title salvage. While this scheme works for high-end cars because it makes sense to save some of the cars if the damage is not major. What pisses me off, Copper doesn't reveal any past history of this car. They could put in notes previously certificate of destruction to warn potential buyers of expensive mistake. Right now there is primary damage, minor dents and scratches with normal wear. There is no word that this car was a flood damage car with a certificate of destruction. That's why it pays off to always check its history and check the previous sales and documents it came with. And there you have it. We've seen that some cars with certificate of destructions could be brought back to roadworthy condition in the United States. But be warned, this is a risky business with some shady dealings. Should you try it? I'd say no, unless you bought an extremely expensive and rare car like McLaren P1, you've spent $500,000 on it and another $500,000 to put it back to roadworthy condition. Good luck to Tavarish, by the way. If you sell a car like that, always tell potential buyer the whole history of the car, so they won't have any problems and any surprises registering it in their state. And don't forget to check salvage car history with VinDoctor. You might learn some interesting things. That's all for today's video. My name is Andre, I'm with carsfromwest.com, and thank you very much for joining me on this journey to uncover the truth behind the certificate of destruction. Stay safe, keep on driving, and I'll see you guys next week. Cheers!